Hello, Year 4. Welcome to Monday's science lesson. We're starting a completely new science topic this half term, and it's all about the science, the science of sound. So we're learning all about sounds, how they're made, where they come from. It's a really interesting topic because we go through life using sounds all the time, but we often don't really think about what they are, where they come from. We listen to music. I've got my lovely headphones here. We talk all the time. We watch films. We chat on our mobile phones, video calls. And all of it requires sound. And have you ever thought to yourself, what is it? Where does it come from? How do we hear things? So I'm going to share my screen now. I've got a few questions for you. And I just want you to pause as I go through each question and just think to yourself, can I answer that question? So my first question is, what is a sound? So pause the video here, have a think. If you're with somebody else, have a chat to them about what is a sound. Okay, I'm not going to answer all these questions. How are sounds made? You ever thought about that? How do we make sounds? How do sounds travel? Well, they get made in one place and then they reach us somehow, but how do they get there? What makes sounds high pitch, low pitch, loud or quiet? Have you ever thought about that? How do we hear sounds? So how does our body make sense of them? And how do our brains make sense of these sounds? So these sounds come into our ears. How do we understand them? Okay. So this is all the stuff we're going to be learning about in the coming weeks. So I'm not going to give you the answer to these now because each of these questions will be answered week after week. But this week, our lesson is I can explain what a sound is and how sounds are made. So we're going to explain what a sound is and how we make them. So to put things really, really simply, a sound is a type of energy made by a vibration. Okay, and if you learn nothing else this half term, you need to know that sound is a vibration. What's a vibration? A vibration is when an object just moves up and down very, very quickly. So I've shown you here a picture of a guitar where you can see that the strings are vibrating because that's a nice visual way of seeing it. I shall get my guitar here. I don't think you'll be able to see the vibrations, but when I pluck the string vibrates. Okay, and as you can hear, the sound carries on because the vibration continues. And when the string stops vibrating, the sound stops. So I can do this, I stop it, and the sound goes. You might not have a guitar at home, but you can probably find a rubber band. You can stretch a rubber band and pluck it, and you'll be able to feel a vibration. So a vibration is just something moving extremely quickly up and down. And that's what makes a sound. That really is as simple as that. All sounds come from a vibration. It sounds weird, but that really is the truth. I want you to just think, first of all, about what is vibrating when you hear these sounds. So a door slamming. Well, when a door is slammed, an energy comes out of the person's arm and the door hits the door frame and the door vibrates. And that is what's creating the sound. So there's really a vibration. You don't really see it, but it is vibrating. When you hear hands clapping, the initial sound is made by a very quick vibration. Now, it's not a long sound because your hand stops vibrating very quickly. But when that pain, that slight pain you feel when you clap your hand hard, is the feeling of vibrations, isn't it? A drum being hit, well, the drummer takes the stick, the energy comes out of the drummer's hand, it hits the drum, and it creates a very quick vibration. And here's an interesting one, talking. Think about this. What's vibrating when people are talking? See if you can answer that. Pause the video and answer that yourself. Well, talking is a vibration in something called our voice box, which is just inside our throat here. Now, if you hold your hand to your throat and talk, or just go, you'll actually feel a vibration. So that's the part of your throat vibrating, and you can actually feel it with your hand. Okay, so even your voice, there is something vibrating in order to create that sound. Okay, so how are sounds made? Well, it all requires some kind of energy. Okay, so we talked about the door being slammed. The person slamming the door had to put some energy into slamming that door. The energy leaves that person's hand, it enters the door, and then it goes into the door frame when that bang sound is made, and the energy just sort of disappears into the walls. Okay, same thing here. The drummer, it's quite an energetic thing to do. The drummer takes energy from his body and then it gets transferred into the drums and the cymbals that he hits. Okay, so that is how sounds are made. Now, there are different ways of making a sound. The three main ones I want to look at today are striking, that just means hitting. So when you hit something, you're striking it. Plucking, that's what I did with the guitar. And blowing. I blew into it and I made a sound. So I am going to unshare my video. I'm just going to demonstrate some different objects and musical instruments I've got lying around. And I want you to think to yourself, how is the sound being made and what is vibrating? So let's start with a nice easy one. We've got here a triangle. So I strike it and we hear this lovely sound. So there, the sound is being made by striking the triangle, and it's the triangle itself which is vibrating. And if you had one at home, you can feel it. And as I hold it, the sound stops, so it stops vibrating. So that was striking, wasn't it? What else have we got around here? We've got a milk bottle. Well, I'm making the sound by blowing into it, but what is vibrating? Is it the bottle itself or is it something else? Well, actually, what's happening here is the air inside the bottle is vibrating. It's the air inside which is vibrating, not the bottle itself. What else have we got here? I've got a cymbal from a drum kit, and you can see that. Now I'm making that sound by striking. It's the cymbal which is vibrating, but I'm going to try and prove to you that it's vibrating. I'm going to try and get you to see a vibration by striking this and then putting some rice onto the cymbal. We can see if we can see the rice moving. Now, did you see that? I've got rice landing in the gaps in my computer, going all over the desk, into the carpet at home. Oh dear. But it was the vibration of the cymbal which was making the bits of rice, the grains of rice dance up and down there and fall all over my desk. What a mess. What else have we got here? We've got a lovely drum. Very loud, that. It's the skin that's vibrating, and I make it the sound by striking it. And what else have we got here? We've got a recorder. Now I make that sound by blowing into it, and it's the air inside the recorder that is vibrating. Here we go back to the guitar. There I'm plucking, and it is the strings which are doing the vibrating. So the strings on the guitar vibrate there. And last of all, I've got here a speaker from my hi-fi system at home. Okay, can you see that? This is an interesting one. It's not obvious. We listen to these all the time, but what is actually, there's got to be something vibrating. We now know that sound is always made by a vibration. So I'm going to open up the front cover. And if you can see here, don't do this at home because these are quite valuable, these things. There's actually just a piece of rubber there. And all it is a piece of rubber that vibrates. And so all the music, all the wonderful things that can come out of a speaker are all just made by a piece of rubber going at different speeds, different power. But it's all just that little piece of rubber just vibrating. It's really incredible when you think of it like that, isn't it? So that is where sound, that's where our music comes from. But likewise, headphones, this one here, these little iPhone headphones, they'll just have a tiny piece of rubber that vibrates, and that's all it is. It's just something vibrating. Okay, I will share my screen again. And let's just quickly recap. So see if you can fill in the missing words here. A sound is a type of something made by a something. Pause the video here, try and answer that. So a sound is a type of energy made by a vibration. Okay, so you've got 2 tasks to complete today. Task 1 is to complete the quiz on forms. There are a few quiz questions. Click on the link, it will be posted up to Class Story. And task 2 is to make a telephone. Easy peasy. You're thinking that sounds a bit tricky, but it's not as hard as it looks. All you need is 2 plastic cups and a piece of string. I will stop sharing this so you can see a bit better. So 2 plastic cups and a piece of string. And all you need to do is find something sharp, and be careful when you do this. You just make a tiny hole in the top of the cup and you feed some string through. And then at the top of the string, you tie a knot. Can you see that knot there? So when you pull it through, it doesn't go through. You do the same at the other end. So you've got 2 cups with a piece of string with a knot on each end attached. Now, what happens here is when you pull the string tight, one person at one end can talk into the cup. The other person puts the cup to their ear and they will be able to hear the sound. Now, if you make the string 20 centimeters, well, 50 centimeters long like this, it's not going to be very impressive because you can hear their voice anyway. But I promise you, you can make the string 20 meters, 30 meters long, and it will still work. The only important thing to do is when you're communicating, make sure the string is tight. Now have a think about why that might be. Think about the science you've learned about today. Why does the string have to be tight and not loose for your telephone to work? Well, the answer is you need to create a vibration. And if it's all loose and floppy like that, it won't vibrate. Whereas if the string is nice and tight, it will create a lovely vibration. So that is your main task, to create a telephone. And it's really impressive that when one person talks, the sound really does travel a long way through the string. It's just because the string vibrates and sends that message to the cup, which also vibrates. So that is the end of today's lesson. Complete the quiz, make your telephone. If you like, post up a video of or a photo of you using your telephone and post that to Dojo. That'd be really great to see. Right, that's enough from me. Good luck. I will see you later.